Okay, so welcome back to another edition of In the Kitchen with Ma. This is Ma. Her name is Evelyn, but I call her Ma. And today we are making ginger snap cookies, well, however you want to say it. And the reason that we're making these is, well, they're just really good and we're going to eat them. But also, we're trying to figure out how to make them a little more chewy instead of crunchy. And we have a couple of different ideas because Mother makes these all the time. She always shows up at every event with a plate of cookies. That's kind of her deal these days. And but sometimes they're a little bit kind of firm, and I don't like them like that. I like them really chewy, but that's just me. And I know the kind you buy in the store are real snappy and hard, and those are good for some things. But anyway, we're just going to experiment with them when we have the time. So, and it's about to snow here, so that's a good time to make cookies, right? Okay. All right, Mom. Okay, so first of all, this recipe shows up in many, many cookbooks that we have. This was an antique mall that we used to belong to, and they did a cookbook. And so we put that recipe in there, and it's in a whole bunch of other ones too, church ones. But you've had this recipe for a long time, so where did you get it?
I don't know.
Oh, we're 2 for 2. Okay, because we talked about that in our bread video, making bread video that we made a couple of weeks ago, and we'll put a link to that video in this video. Right, guys? We can do that, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So anyway, okay, well, we don't know the origin of some of these recipes, but they are so good, and she's been making this for years. When did you start making this? Do you remember?
Yeah, probably, 40 years ago.
40 years ago.
Yeah, at least.
So, just
maybe 50.
since we've lived here.
Yes.
You didn't make it before we lived here in Texas?
I don't remember making it in Illinois, but yeah, definitely.
In Texas.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like you've been making it all my life, and that pretty much covers that, so that makes sense. Okay, well, it's a really good recipe, and some of the doggies want cookies too, so we're going to get started. So in this bowl, we have 3/4 of a cup of butter that's been softened, and a cup of granulated sugar, and an egg, and 1/4 cup of molasses. And we have to admit that we are altering the recipe a little bit. It really calls for Crisco, and I don't have any right now. So hang on. So we're going to see how this goes, but we think it's going to be okay because sometimes we interchange Crisco and butter when we're making like chocolate chip cookies and other kinds of cookies. So we'll just see how it goes, and we'll all know, and I'll bet it's still edible no matter what. So, okay, so you're going to cream all this together. Beat until creamy, all those goodies, and here we go. And it's still kind of hard. That's good. Just let it go. Kind of slow first.
That's on one.
Yeah, that's okay. You get it chopped up, and then you can do your thing.
It looks pretty good.
Okay. You need to scrape it around a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, the temperature here right now is about, what, 25 degrees outside, which is not super normal for North Texas, not this part of North Texas. But we're enjoying the cold weather for a change. And, but I think that the butter was not quite as softened as we thought it would be, but that's okay. Mom worked it out. Okay, what are we doing here? Here, let me help you.
Okay, just a little bit more. think that about got it.
Okay. I just want to lick those beaters.
Well, let's
No.
get rid of that.
Let's don't. We'll just
we
scoot
don't.
that out of the way and we'll worry about that later.
Okay.
Okay, so now you have that. So now I'm going to help you by helping you add stuff here. Okay, so we're going to add the flour, the ginger, the baking soda, the salt, and the cinnamon. So here we have 2 cups of flour, a tablespoon of ginger, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a half teaspoon of salt. So does it matter what order?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I always feel like we need to put like the, well, I don't know. It says do the flour, so let's just do the flour.
Only put about half.
Okay. All right. So
if
that,
you want to put everything else in with that other flour,
okay. Oh, okay.
Kind of stir it around.
Okay. All right. I can do that. There's that. All right. Oh, yeah. Smell the cinnamon now. Yeah, it's starting to smell like we're doing something. So I'm going to grab a little fork right here. We're always standing in front of everything we need. Okay. I'll try not to make too big of a mess. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Are you getting your upper body workout?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So why do you think ginger snaps are called snaps? Do you think it has to do with the consistency of the cookie?
They're really supposed to be a crisp cookie.
The way I don't like it.
But so many people like them
Chewy.
a little bit soft.
Yeah.
In the middle.
Yeah, they don't have to be gooey for me. I just like them to be a little bit bendable.
They're good any which way.
Well, yeah. But don't you think? I thought maybe the snap had to do with ginger, because they do have a little bit of a.
I guess. And
not really
also,
a bite.
I think when you bite into them, they kind of have a snap to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can buy that. All right. I think I got this fairly well incorporated.
Okay.
I think that was a smart idea. Having me put all that stuff in there, because otherwise it gets in clumps. Okay. All right. So this is one batch.
This is one batch. And I've forgotten how many it makes.
Okay.
But we'll.
Because you've doubled and tripled
I have doubled it many times.
many times.
Make it into a roll and freeze the rolls, and boy, you got them just like you went to the grocery store. And
Oh, I think that's better than going to the grocery store. Well, so you make up batches and you put them in the freezer, and you say you don't ball them up,
no, I
make them into a cookie first and then freeze them. You put it in a log,
I make a log.
like a sugar cookie log or whatever, and then you just thaw that out and slice them off.
I do, yeah. You can slice them off and roll them, or sometimes I even just slice them off and dip them in the sugar and bake them. Okay, and this is at the point where I like to actually.
Oh, you're gonna touch it?
Get into it with
Okay,
my hands.
all right. Okay, so we're squishing, and this is, I'm having a backflash to 2 weeks ago when we were making bread. Because you were in there with your hands, and
I just feel like you can
get it
mixed together better with your hands, and whoops.
So,
get away from
do
me.
you lick your fingers when you're
No, I do not.
Do you eat raw cookie dough?
I don't.
I did, didn't I? When I was little?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I bought some cookie dough at the store that comes in a tub the other day. Just in case, sometimes you just want to throw a few cookies on a sheet pan and bake them for the day. And you can eat it. You can eat the raw cookie dough. They used flour that had been heated, which is, just what you need to do to kind of kill whatever bacteria it could have in it. And then the eggs were pasteurized, which I think most of the eggs that we get nowadays are pasteurized depending on what kind you get, but you can get those. So anyway, it said you were okay to eat it, and I ate some, and it was pretty good. But I won't eat this since
Okay.
we didn't heat
That's
flour.
pretty much mixed together.
All right, so now you've got to get your cookie dough mitts off. But you're gonna be rolling them anyway, right? So we've got to get our pans. And what we're gonna do, and I'll help you roll them too. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make them into the balls, right? And then we're gonna dip them into sugar.
That's right.
You don't roll them around.
No, you don't want to get the sugar on the bottom because they burn. The bottom will burn when you bake them.
Okay, so just on the top, and then we're going to put them on the pan, and then we're going to, here's where we're doing something different. We're going to put them in the fridge for just a little bit. We want to firm them up a little bit because they're getting kind of warm from being handled, or they will be. And we think that may be part of why they get a little crisper. So we're not sure, but this might make them a little chewier the way I want them. So we're going to do that. Okay, so
actually this dough is a little stickier than what mine normally is.
You want some more flour?
I think maybe just a little flour for our hands.
Okay,
yeah.
Hang on, we're going to get a little more flour. Hang on. Okay, so after a little more flour, we added, I don't know, what do you think? A couple of tablespoons, maybe
Sure.
3. Okay, so now you kind of section it off and
just grab some of it up and kind of roll it into a little log, and then I just kind of
you set them around.
I kind of pinch off. It just makes it a little bit easier.
Oh, it feels so good.
And then you start to roll it up and just plop it in and leave it there.
Okay. Wait, I'm still trying to make a log. A log. So it's gnocchi. So how big? Now how big are they?
Yeah, it's supposed to be about the size of a walnut,
That's more like the size of a pecan.
Mine is?
Well, I don't know. It depends on what kind of walnuts you get,
Yeah,
I
if
guess.
you think you don't have quite enough, pinch off a little more.
Okay. I'm going to be the pincher. Look, I got a whole bunch ready over here for you. Can everybody see what we're doing here? It's a little gross, but not too bad. Okay. You could just take a spoon. Of course, then you got to get it off the spoon. And this is sticky dough.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's a moist dough.
And some of them wind up a little bit bigger.
Yeah. I think I could make this just be like this. Am I making these big enough?
Sure. If you want them smaller.
Making them. Well, I don't know. Do you like a really big cookie? Or do you like little tiny cookies?
Yeah.
What? I guess it depends on the cookie, huh?
That's right.
So,
if you want, you could now start
laying them on there.
Putting these on the pan, and I do like this, and then I make sure I put them that side down. So
Upright?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, the dogs are on to us, and they know that there's something going on here in the kitchen. So, I know. But anyway, we got done, and we ended up with a few extras, so we've got 48 plus, and we're going to stick these in the fridge and firm them up just a little bit, and we'll get the oven preheating to 350?
Yes.
350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll be back to take care of that here in a little bit. Okay, so these have been in the fridge for about 15 minutes, and these pans are really cold, but that's going to be okay, don't you think? We're just going to put them in the oven. We've already preheated it to 350 degrees, and we're going to put them in there, and we're going to go ahead and set the timer for 8 minutes, because we don't want them to go too long, and then we'll just check them, and if we need to, we'll maybe go 10. The recipe really calls for 10 to 12, but you know, ovens vary, so we're just gonna check them out at 8. Okay? All right.
Sounds good.
Be back in a minute. All right. Okay, so we ended up with about, we did that,
55 cookies.
yeah, but I mean, as far as time, we did 8 minutes, and they really didn't look quite ready to go. So at that point, we switched the pans, the location on the racks in the oven, and we went another about 2 minutes. We watched them really closely, and they had already started to crackle, so that's what we wanted to see. And for whatever reason they crackle, we're gonna look that up. But Crisco does it and butter does it, now we know. So anyway, we just need to take them out. They've been sitting on the pan for just a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna take them out and take them off and put them on cooling racks. Look, they're really kind of greasy still, but and that way they can cool the rest of the way, and then we're gonna eat them. So Mom, what kinds of things, what do you do? Do you have them with milk, or do you have them with tea?
Either one is good. I like to have it with a cup of tea.
Okay. So would you call these a dunking cookie?
I'm not a dunker.
Oh, okay.
But
I don't know about dunking these. I'm a big dunker.
Yeah.
I like dunking like Oreos and, you know, those kinds of cookies that have some substance. I would think that these might just fall apart. Do you think?
They might. We can try it though.
We're gonna stick them in milk. I was thinking that some good chai tea might go good with these, just because you already have that warm ginger, cinnamon, molasses smell going on, and why not just, you know, complement it with some chai tea. And it has a little bit of milk in it, so we're still getting our cookies and milk. So anyway, we're gonna let these cool a little bit longer on the racks, and then we're gonna have them with some tea. Okay, so the cookies are a success. They're just like I like them. They're bendy and gooey and not all crackly, and they're really good. So I think we did a good job, don't you?
I think we did too.
Just tore mine up. So here, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. We've got our chai tea, which we think is going to be really good. It's too hot to drink right now, so we're going to have that with our ginger snaps. And Ma, thank you for coming over and making cookies with me and showing me the way. And
my pleasure.
We decided the butter was a good idea. It definitely gives it a good flavor, but I don't see how you could go wrong with either one. So I think it's just a matter of playing around with, depending on your oven, and just watching them.
I think it's always better with butter.
Everything's better with butter. Okay, so that's a wrap, and be sure to subscribe if you don't already, and give us a like and ring the bell so you'll be notified about our next video. And all the recipe and the ingredients and everything will be below in the comments. Be sure to leave any questions or comments below, and that's it. Does it have to be Crisco? Can it be butter?
I don't know. I've always just done it with Crisco.